So I'm having problems getting my carburetor seal on the intake. As you can see, it's not very consistent on this gasket here. I had to tear out because I had a major vacuum leak going on. Because the plate is too thin. You can see, like certain spots, it had good pressure. Other spots, like here, it's barely squeezing on the gasket. So we're getting vacuum leaks. It was actually whistling at me in this back section here. This little plate that's on there is warped. So I've got this nice piece of 1/2-inch plate, and to make a new adapter, to make it square. See, it lines up pretty good. It's probably just about the right size for it. So I'm going to go design like this, but I'm going to keep this front edge and these sides straight. I get a square. We got this 1/2-inch plate. There's no real need for those indentations, maybe on a different carburetor, but on this carburetor, it doesn't need them. It does give me a little more sealing surface, a little less to warp, and hopefully it'll work out good. Start working on that. Alright, I got it laid out. I can get 2 out of here if I screw one up. My plate is 6.5 inches wide this way by 1 foot long this way. So basically I can just cut a square out of the metal around the edges a little bit. I gotta drill out this hole 3/8 to match up to go through this into the manifold, and then I'm gonna tap this one so I can put studs or bolts in here either way for the carburetor to bolt onto. And this is nice and thick. It's 1/2-inch thick steel plate, so that definitely should not warp. And hopefully have some better sealing on the carburetor and less vacuum leaks. Alright, I got my new plate all drilled out and ready to go. Holes line up pretty decently, considering. Maybe. There we go. Well, the holes kind of walked a little bit, but it should work out. Also countersunk the holes here. I have these tapered screws here. And once it's on the intake, the gasket, they will be under flush. So no more leaks. It's a nice thick 1/2-inch plate again. And I got these. If they're too long, I can cut them down. Or I have these guys, which are shorter. That'd be too short, I'm not sure. One way or other, we'll get it to work. And I have the screws for the carburetor. There we go. So we should be good to go. Bolt this down to the manifold with these guys, and then bolt the carburetor down to the new plate with those guys. We should be good. I was looking at a lot of plates online to get the aluminum ones, and just seeing kind of the same thing. They're really thin, and I don't have any more vacuum leak problems. So this doesn't do it. I don't know what will. Alright, the plate fits on here pretty good. Got screws in all 4 corners. Holes don't look terrible. Well, the holes kind of walked a little bit. You can kind of see it here. Just a little bit, like a 1/16 of an inch both ways, but it lines up good. I have the thick gasket on here, so that worked out good. And there shouldn't be any vacuum leaks with this big guy. this on the car soon, and we'll see how it rolls. I've also made another spacer adapter plate for the future, but for now, let's make a good carburetor stand. Little feet on it, carburetor on the studs. Keep it off the table when I'm trying to work on it. I got the gasket on there so it doesn't scratch the paint. I'm going to change out this thin, cheap base plate with one that I made. I already changed the gasket on this one with a used one that I had because it was leaking terribly. So it's gonna go. I got some new gaskets and we'll see if it runs better. I got the carburetor off. Get our plate off, which will not seal. And we'll see if our used gasket comes off here. Alright. Brand new one to throw on here. Good to go. Got a brand new gasket. Made in the United States. And I got my adapter plate. So we'll get it all together. And hopefully get rid of our vacuum leak problem. I got my homemade 4-bolt spacer adapter installed. The new gasket. Got these nice recessed bolts here. Hold it all down. Time to put the carburetor on. Got our new plate on with our gasket. It's time to get the carburetor installed and see how this works. Alright, our carburetor is back on and we're ready for road test.